Nantucket's in Fenwick Island is the locals' best-kept secret. Experience the area's finest dining in a beautiful, relaxing atmosphere. Feast on wonderful foods like fresh seafood from the docks, dry-aged steaks, and a bounty of other mouth-watering delights, including the best chowder in the area. Enjoy a fine wine from our wine collection consisting of over 100 varieties. Nantucket's a great restaurant with a very cool tap room. Celebrate happy hour every day from 4 to 7. Bring your friends to Nantucket's because schmooze happens in Fenwick Island.
Under the lights, on soccer fields, challenging courses, long bike rides on weekends, in Lane 5, and at the gym after school, or finishing your last set. The fact is, whether you're a hardcore athlete, weekend warrior, or outdoor enthusiast, sports injuries happen. When they do, you can count on Peninsula Orthopedic Associates to get you back out there.
Are you suffering from severe joint pain, arthritis, a sports injury? Stop living this way. See how the physicians at Atlantic Orthopedics can help you. Our goal is to carefully evaluate your needs and respond with quality care plans and educational materials that provide you with the treatment and tools for recovery. With 2 convenient locations in Maryland and Delaware, our board-certified physicians are available to provide emergency and follow-up care. Call us today to schedule your appointment.
At Atlantic Physical Therapy, the care that we provide is top of the line. We are the most innovative and complete physical therapy clinic on Delmarva. With locations in Ocean Pines, Millsboro, and Laurel, and our recently opened facility in Salisbury, our clinicians provide one-on-one quality care. Our new facility in West Fenwick will be opening soon. When choosing a physical therapy clinic, make Atlantic Physical Therapy your choice, because we keep the care in healthcare.
Welcome to What a Wonderful World. This week's episode, we're going to take you to Boston, Southie, Boston, that is. We're going to introduce you to the former mayor, Ray Flynn, also local legend, Pat Nee, and don't forget the fighter, Irish Mickey Ward. Also, then we're going to take you to the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Southie. Get ready, because we're going to have an Irish Day. What's better than having a great time and being with La Familia? Come and join me, my son Bobby the doctor, my cugino and Boston's Prince of the City, Calogero Lograsso, as we take you to the most awesome places, introduce you to interesting people, and go to the best places to eat and hang out. We're here at the home of former mayor of Boston, Ray Flynn, also United States ambassador to the Vatican, and Ray was probably one of the best athletes ever to come out of Southie, Boston.
As a kid, Ray was always like family to us, you know, he really was. When we'd be playing out in the alley here, he'd come out and give us advice, and Kathy would come out with Kool-Aid and lemonade, and you know, he always gave us tidbits of advice in regards to sports and life in general, and I'm lucky to call him a friend. I really am. Very fortunate.
Could you tell us a little bit about your basketball career?
I became, believe it or not, even as a little kid, I had a great deal of admiration for Red Auerbach, who was the legendary coach of the Boston Celtics. I became friendly with them as a little kid and remained until the day he died. And I guess I probably learned one of the greatest lessons of life from Coach Red Auerbach of the Boston Celtics. All my life, Red knew it, and everybody knew it. All I ever wanted to be, not a politician, not mayor, not governor, not ambassador. All I ever wanted to be was to play for the Boston Celtics. And Red Auerbach said something to me that you would have thought it would have been devastating for the rest of my life. He said, you know, as much as I hate to do this, he says, nobody's worked harder than you have. You are the hardest working person athlete that I've ever coached. And he said, and you're a great shooter, but you're not tall enough, and you don't have all the other skills that are necessary to play in the NBA except as a great shooter, he says, I have to drop you, I have to release you. And he kept Larry Siegfried, that was the battle between Siegfried and myself. Now, yeah, I was devastated, all right. And I went to church that night and prayed over it and so forth. But that lesson that Red Auerbach taught me, he says, Ray, the reason why the Celtics are world champions, because we don't play favorites. We pick the best players we can go with, put them on the court, where they're from, what color they are, whether I'm friendly with them or not. They had Russell and Heinsohn and Casey Jones and Havlicek and all these guys. He said, you're not as good as Larry Siegfried. And I said, okay, Red, thank you very much. I really wanted to play for the Celtics. But all through politics, that's all I ever thought about, was don't do what is popular, do what is right. Red Auerbach didn't do what was popular because in his heart, he wanted to keep me because he considered me almost a son, as I considered him almost a father. And I learned a great lesson from that, and that's how I conducted my whole life.
That truly is a great lesson.
Nobody knows that story, but that's the story, you know? Yeah.
Well, Your Honor, thank you so much for having us.
It's great to do this interview.
You're truly a man that I admire, and
Thank you.
I can't say enough thank you, and to just say that what a wonderful world it is because of people like you.
Thank you. You're awful nice to say that. God bless you.
Thank you.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
We're here with Patrick Nee, my good friend, local legend, former Marine, and author of A Criminal and an Irishman, celebrating St. Patrick's Day with traditional Irish breakfast of bangers and mash before heading to the St. Patrick's Day Parade here in Southie, Boston. Tell us about your book. I've read your book, and let me tell you something.
The book was kind of a response to some of the books that were being written at the time, which were all fake. They were lying like hell. One kid would have had been 9 years old. He claimed he used to ride around with us. Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah, well, we checked his date of birth, said he must have been 9. I don't remember him. You know, so a lot of fakes. So I wrote a book in response to that, just to set the record straight on what I had been in prison for.
Pat, you know what I'm most impressed with is your patriotic sense and your your pride in anything that you do. Is whether it's being an Irishman or being a U.S. Marine, because I know you're so proud of being a Marine. And when I read the book, and family, obviously, you're such a family-oriented guy. When I read the book, I was more touched or by that than anything else. I got to tell you, it really hit home. It was beautiful. Yeah.
How old were you when you moved to the United States from Ireland, Pat?
8.
8 years old.
And then 9 years later, I joined the Marine Corps. One of the better experiences of my life. 4 years in the Marines. Still friends with a lot of guys. It becomes a brotherhood. You make lifelong bonds. The parade is just an expression of Irish pride and a tribute to the veterans. Nothing more, nothing less. It's a family day for the Irish. And it's a salute to the veterans who served, which is quite a few from South Boston.
I was here last year for the parade. You guys hosted me for the parade last year. Let me tell you something. This is the best St. Patrick's Day parade I've ever been to. Yeah. And thanks for having us again, Pat.
Okay. Anything else I can tell you guys without getting arrested? And you can leave that in there.
No, it's good. Aren't you?
All right. Pat's going to take us over to the parade. What do you say, Pat? We go to the parade?
Let's get going.
All right.
See you.
After you, brother.
Under the lights, on soccer fields, challenging courses, long bike rides on weekends, in Lane 5, and at the gym after school, or finishing your last set. The fact is, whether you're a hardcore athlete, weekend warrior, or outdoor enthusiast, sports injuries happen. When they do, you can count on Peninsula Orthopedic Associates to get you back out there.
Nantucket's in Fenwick Island is the locals' best-kept secret. Experience the area's finest dining in a beautiful, relaxing atmosphere. Feast on wonderful foods like fresh seafood from the docks, dry-aged steaks, and a bounty of other mouth-watering delights, including the best chowder in the area. Enjoy a fine wine from our wine collection consisting of over 100 varieties. Nantucket's a great restaurant with a very cool tap room. Celebrate happy hour every day from 4 to 7. Bring your friends to Nantucket's because schmooze happens in Fenwick Island.
Choose Atlantic Physical Therapy over any other physical therapy clinic. As a sign of our appreciation for patient loyalty, we will be there for you if and when you reach your yearly cap, regardless of your insurance program.
We will sit down with you and figure out what works best for you and your financial situation. So remember, when choosing a physical therapy clinic, make Atlantic Physical Therapy your choice.
We keep the care in healthcare. Welcome back to What a Wonderful World. We're here in Southie, Boston at the St. Patrick's Day Parade, one of the finest in the country. Let's go get our Irish on.
We're excited to be here at the Sear Farrell Boxing Gym, also known as the Zoo, on St. Patrick's Day with the legendary Irish Mickey Ward, one of the baddest fighters to ever put on the gloves and the subject of the 2010 Academy Award-winning film, The Fighter. Also, his trilogy with Arturo Gatti are some of the best fights to ever go down in the history of boxing.
The movie started as a documentary with me and my brother Dickie, but Dickie had gotten out of jail back in 2000. Those talks of it then, and in 2002 or 3 after the Gatti fight, I think, you know, someone in Paramount seen that little clip of me and Dickie like training and stuff. And they loved the concept of it, and then someone liked it, and it got in the hands of the right people out there. And then Mark Wahlberg, a good friend of mine, Mark got a hold of it, and Mark got the movie made, basically, and I gotta thank him so much, because without Mark's persistence of like every day, like pushing it, probably never would have got made. So, you know, Mark made it happen. I went from an amateur. I started boxing when I was 7 with golden gloves, Junior Olympics first, golden gloves, silver mittens, and all that stuff, and then turned pro at 19, doing very well, and then I retired for a couple of years. Hurt my hands. I got my hands busted up. Something stupid, and you seen in the movie that happened. And you know, I retired for a little bit, and then I came back. And when I came back like with a vengeance. Like actually, because I wanted to come back, not because someone made me come back. Or I did it because I wanted to do it, and I knew I had more to give. So when I rededicated myself and just gave 120%, and it became what it became. But you know, if I didn't come back, and if I didn't give another shot, you know, I was another guy saying, "Oh, he could have done this, he could have done that." And luckily, you know, grace of God, I came back and I did it the right way. You know, it's great coming down here to the zoo, sparring here in Boston and Quincy actually, and great sparring down here because back home I live in Lowell, and there's not too many sparring partners for pros. A lot of amateur kids, but pros there's not much sparring for them. So coming down here gives Joey the opportunity to be able to spar with good fighters, and
Mark's good too.
Mark's very good, and he's in great condition, and it gives Joey, it makes him work that much more, and it makes him realize like that. You know, you're not the king in the castle. I mean, you might be back home, but here it's a different ball game. You know what I mean? And and it just gives them that much more to work for, and that much more to train hard to get better, and you know, to be more competitive. You know,
Sure.
But This is where it's at. It's in this gym is.
Yeah, the
look at
work is
gym
what makes
mystique.
it better, right?
That's what you only get out of it what you put into it.
Right.
And if you don't put nothing into it, you're not gonna get nothing out of it.
It's like a drawer.
Exactly.
Put it in, it's there. You don't put it in when you open a drawer, there's nothing in it.
Talent can only take you so far. When you start getting up there, you know, the first probably 10, 15 fights, you might be able to blow guys out. But the cream of the crop rises. You know, you can only talent can only take you so far. Most of the guys, when you get up there, they're all great fighters. It's who's in better condition, you know, and who wants it more. And that's why you got to kill yourself in this gym. And here's where you win the fight, right? In the gym. Obviously out there, but in the gym, all the hours you put in, all the sparring, all the bag work, all the stuff like that, running in the morning. That's the key, running in the morning, you know.
How is it training as compared to fighting?
I think it was easy to fight. Honestly, because when you're fighting, you're just worried about yourself, training and getting up in the morning, training, fighting, and that's easy. Fighting's the easy part, honestly. The training and getting banged around, sparring for 2-3 months, that's the hard part. Yeah. The easier part was when you get, I shouldn't say easier part, but sometimes the easier part was when you're in actually fighting, all the sparring you do, getting up and running and watching your diet, and then, you know, you go to do certain things and everyone's eating, you can't eat, and it's like you want to kill yourself. You know what I mean? Not kill yourself, but you want to pull your hair out. It's just, when you're boxing, you're going to live it. When you're fighting, you can live it 24/7.
Hey, Mick, I got one question for you. That patented left hook, when we were kids, they teach us, you know, you rip them downstairs and they come over the top. But you had it the other way. You touch them upstairs. And how did that come about?
Well, I did that because what I would do is tap up to bring that elbow up a hair, so I can just dig into the liver. So once I tapped up, I bring the hand up, and the tap was just quick. Yeah. And it wasn't that it was where I placed it, right in the liver, right in here.
I've been hit there, bud. Matthew Sa Muhammad hit me with a left hook there. Guess what?
You know.
I crawled around the whole gym floor.
Oh yeah.
Like a caterpillar, I look more like.
He was like one of the greatest heavyweights there was. Yeah. Tough.
Mickey's signature shot. Beautiful.
Yeah. The best in the world. I just want to be like this, standing around.
I hear that. You gotta keep that chin down, even if you're just watching.
The thing about that though is being like getting a good body shot is you gotta take punches when you're in there too. So it's kind of like it's true. You know, get in there and do it and get out.
There's nothing you can do for the liver. There's nothing you can do for the liver except live good. Have a little sip of whiskey. Guess what? You're gonna feel it on that liver, right? Right?
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
Well, Mickey, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
It's a blessing talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
What a wonderful world with Mickey Ward. Thank you.
I'm Charles Kern, I'm a physical therapist, and this is your Atlantic Physical Therapy Tip of the Day. Today we're going to talk about keeping your spine healthy when lifting objects. One important thing to remember is to always keep the object close to you. If you take a 10-pound weight, bring it 1 foot away from you, it's 100 pounds of pressure through your spine. If you keep the object close, it's only 10 pounds of pressure through your spine. When you're going to lift the object, it's always important to remember to keep your back straight. Flex at the hips and knees, your head up, bring the object close to you, turn and face, flex at the hips and knees and place the object down. One way people often hurt themselves is when they have an object and twist with it. You want to avoid that by facing your object, flex at the hips and knees, and then place your object down. Again, I'm Charles Curran, and this is your Atlantic Physical Therapy Tip of the Day.
At Atlantic Physical Therapy, we focus on getting back the lifestyle you deserve. Our therapists are skilled in a range of treatment techniques like hand therapy, balance and concussion screenings, manual therapy, aquatic therapy, and therapeutic exercise. And we utilize the most advanced equipment. Our state-of-the-art gym offers fitness center memberships to keep you active year-round. Before you schedule anywhere else, come in for a tour of our facility. Where you go for therapy is your choice. At Atlantic Physical Therapy, we keep the care in healthcare.
There's a funky little place on the edge of town called the Lobster Shanty, so come on down. You have a good old time, family atmosphere, great food, nice folks, and ice cold beer.
Miss Fenwick.
Route 54 for the best seafood here on the shore. Come on by, make yourselves at home at Twining's Lobster Shanty.
Look for the big red lobster in the sky.
Twining's Lobster Shanty.
under the lights, on soccer fields, challenging courses, long bike rides on weekends, in Lane 5, and at the gym after school, or finishing your last set. The fact is, whether you're a hardcore athlete, weekend warrior, or outdoor enthusiast, sports injuries happen. When they do, you can count on Peninsula Orthopedic Associates to get you back out there.
Welcome back to What a Wonderful World. We're here at Peninsula Orthopedics with Dr. James Trauger at this beautiful facility. Thank you so much for having us, Dr. Trauger.
Great to have you here, and thanks for coming.
Yeah. So, Dr. Trauger, I understand that you specialize in hips and knees?
Yes, I do. I'm a hip and knee replacement specialist, which means I'm an orthopedic surgeon, and I specialize in helping people who have lost their ability to maintain their active lifestyle. I help them regain it by putting in artificial hip and knee replacement.
Now, doctor, also tell us a little bit about the rehab process and the recovery time, because I've seen some of your hip patients, and I think it sounds a lot more scary than it actually is, because they come back really well from it, from the ones I've seen anyway.
So typically, after a hip replacement surgery, a patient will have a moderate amount of pain that's tolerable with either narcotic medication or anti-inflammatory medication, but pretty good pain for probably 7 to 10 days. After that point, it's more of a healing, stiff pain for about a month. And usually within a month, the patient's pain is relieved to the point that they no longer need any type of narcotic medication. Usually Tylenol would be enough, and they're starting to feel like they can be on their feet several hours at a time. I would say by the time 6 weeks rolls around, most people are able to be on their feet probably the better part of half of a day, reasonably comfortable. And by the time 3 months roll around, most patients have gotten to the point that they're forgetting they had surgery and they're just getting up and going about their business and back to their lives again.
Dr. Trauger, could you tell us a little bit about the knee replacement procedure?
Sure. The knee replacement procedure takes approximately an hour to perform. It involves an incision over the front of the knee, going down to the tissues that surround the kneecap and dividing on the inside of those tissues to get down to the knee itself. Once you get down to that point, there are two different ways of going about doing a knee replacement. The way surgeons typically for the past 30 years have done knee replacements is through a technique called a mechanical alignment. And in so doing, oftentimes patients end up with a knee that's aligned not quite like their opposite knee. And sometimes ligament length has to be changed. Here at Peninsula Orthopedics, we've been doing a different technique called a more anatomically aligned knee replacement. And basically my goal when I do a knee replacement is to put the patient's femoral component exactly back where that natural femur was before the disease process started. In so doing, I'm able to make a patient's leg look exactly like the opposite leg and not be curved in more or curved out more. And I don't have to change the length of the patient's ligaments, so I'm basically putting the patient back to the way they were before the disease process started, which allows a much quicker recovery and a knee that feels more like a natural knee. And I've had superb results with it in patients that really just recover very fast and are very happy with the procedure.
Dr. Trauger, that's excellent, and thank you so much for having us here in your beautiful facility. We do appreciate it, and that's what makes What a Wonderful World.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Dr. Trauger.
All right.
Hamaron. It's so nice to be back home here in Ocean City, Maryland. We had a wonderful time in Boston, but just like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz says, there's no place like home. Tonight, we're here at Ristorante Antipasti with Fausto Di Carlo, my dear friend. Also joining us for dinner is Dr. James Trauger, his brother David Trauger, my lovely, beautiful wife Jessica Hammond, and my son Bobby Hammond. Fausto's gonna prepare a dinner for us that's fit for a king. Mangiamo! Uno giorno senza vino è come un giorno senza sole. That means a day without wine is like a day without sunshine. What better way to thank Dr. James Trauger for being on our show, What a Wonderful World, than to invite him to have a dinner with us at Ristorante Antipasti with my main man, Fausto Di Carlo.
I'm going to teach you something in Italian. Abbiamo la migliore cucina in Ocean City. Translated, we are the best Italian restaurant in Ocean City.
Thank you for joining us for this week's episode of What a Wonderful World. I'd like to specially thank Ray Flynn, Pat Nee, and Irish Mickey Ward, and also my good friend Calogero Lagrasso for all the cooperation for this week's episode of What a Wonderful World. Next week, we're going to take you to the north end of Boston and show you the Italian faction of a wonderful city. We're going to introduce you to Tony DeMarco, who's a former welterweight champion of the world, and future middleweight champion of the world, Mark DeLuca. Ci vediamo and God bless from What a Wonderful World.
Are you suffering from severe joint pain, arthritis, a sports injury? Stop living this way. See how the physicians at Atlantic Orthopedics can help you. Our goal is to carefully evaluate your needs and respond with quality care plans and educational materials that provide you with the treatment and tools for recovery. With 2 convenient locations in Maryland and Delaware, our board-certified physicians are available to provide emergency and follow-up care. Call us today to schedule your appointment.
There's a funky little place on the edge of town called the Lobster Shanty, so come on down. You have a good old time, family atmosphere, great food, nice folks, and nice cold beer.
With Fenwick.
Route 54, all the best seafood here on the shore. Come on by, make yourselves at home at Twining's Lobster Shanty.
Look for the big red lobster in the sky.
Twining's Lobster Shanty.
At Atlantic Physical Therapy, the care that we provide is top of the line. We are the most innovative and complete physical therapy clinic on Delmarva. With locations in Ocean Pines, Millsboro, and Laurel, and our recently opened facility in Salisbury, our clinicians provide one-on-one quality care. Our new facility in West Fenwick will be opening soon. When choosing a physical therapy clinic, make Atlantic Physical Therapy your choice, because we keep the care in healthcare.